There appears to be an inverse reaction to the broader markets here, and that could be reason enough to push this asset into new highs. Fed Chair Powell is set to speak tomorrow, and his announcement will likely move the markets. Let's go over the immediate short-term time frame to gain a true edge over tomorrow's session. Welcome back on this Thursday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE. Let's kill him, team. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE, as there is an absolute setup happening here, and I am very excited to share with you a couple things. So first of all, let's go ahead and observe the ARQ DBSI indicator, which actually takes a metric of almost every single candle upside of the EMA 13 and the candles below the EMA 13, right? So that balance over whatever time frame you're observing here will give you a display of relative strength right up here. What do you know? Daily time frame, we have the bulls leading at 83% with the bears at 17%. Very impressive times, very exciting. And I have a couple things to show you here first. Okay, so the stochastic momentum, you can see that it's clearly starting to get affected by earlier time frames, or shorter term timeframes, better said. And that is likely to start correcting towards an upside here. And please notice that volatility has essentially contracted into the critical zone, which is within the 15th percentile of volatility observed in a linear scale. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that there could be a setup to observe here, and I haven't actually done, unless I have actually, let me see. No, I don't think I've done the daily time frame back test, right? So yeah, that is actually something that I'm compelled to do now, seeing that I haven't done it before. The daily time frame volatility versus momentum back test, we are getting some signals that this could start showing an upside pivot, and as soon as this volatility component and moving average move upside of the 15%, this would in all essence create a statistical setup for us to evaluate targets from. Okay, so let's, what I want to show you here is actually if I change the smoothing factor and the look back period from the stochastic momentum to an earlier time, I'd say to a more reactive time frame, then you will start to get glimpses over what this is actually looking like rather than the delayed time frame in which it's currently sitting in. So let's go ahead and change the D%, which is actually the 3-day exponential moving average, and we'll change the smoothing factor to a period of 1. Okay, so both of these, 1 and 1, and take a look. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely getting upside pivots here on the stochastic momentum indicator, both of the SMA 14 and the EMA 3 on the daily time frame. So that is already indicative of a potential correction and a continuation to the upside. So for now, let's go ahead and just put this back to a period of 3 and a smoothing factor of 3 so that we can continue the same way we always do. Next thing I want to show you here is actually the on balance volume, which actually shows in real time the acquiring of the asset. So please notice right over here that we are actually continuing to acquire the asset. There is no selling currently happening right now, and it is indicative of a continuation to the upside, of which is incredibly powerful. Okay, so I believe, we could actually give it one more little a little tick here, right? So let's observe the DMI, which is going to be the average directional moving index and the strength of bulls versus bears. So now we're already getting a similar indication here by the DBSI, right, at 83% bull strength. And currently, please notice that the ADX, which is a very important factor within this indicator, is currently sitting at a 42%. That is massive. That is showing that whoever from the D plus or a D or a D minus from the D%, I'm sorry, from the, oh my goodness, this right over here. I'm going to show you the style. So a DMI plus or the DMI minus, right, being the bulls and the bears, whoever is leading and on top is essentially in control of the market. And notice that the ADX is sitting at 40%. Let's just put it this way. You are looking at a strong market trend or trending market at 25% and up. And it's usually said that when the ADX is sitting at even 30%, usually at 30%, that is highly indicative of a continuation to whoever is leading the way. In this case, DI plus in the top side, we have a massive 42% on a daily. That is absolutely powerful and suggesting and giving absolutely powerful and giving extra validity to the current setup of volatility versus momentum, which would in essence show us an upside continuation here fairly soon. Okay, so I am still kind of putting it out there that we are at the mercy of whatever Fed Chair Powell says tomorrow. So hopefully, actually, I can't even hope for good or bad, seeing that this is playing inverse to the markets itself. So if you observe the market price action, you can see here on the 12-hour time frame SPY continuing to the downside, of which, by the way, we were able to project this upside and the sell-off, all of it from the 436 zone back down here a few days ago. Okay, so we absolutely got our projections. I mean, everything met exactly the way we spoke of, right? So this is looking very good, and I do suspect a continuation to the downside here for the ticker symbol SPY, and that would introduce a further upside, seeing the inverse correlation between ASRE and the broader markets. So that's looking mighty powerful. Right, so one more thing that we want to notice here, and very simple thing, that this is the ASRE weekly time frame chart, and you can see here that in 17 hours 42 minutes we will be closing this weekly iteration. So this time is actually tomorrow at traditional market close. For me, that is 1 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so at 1 p.m. Pacific time, this candle will close, and this would be printing, I mean, I would say anything, I mean, it would be great for us to close upside at 34.93, but which would be the opening or the closing of this prior candle here. What was the closing of it actually? That was 35. Okay, so a 35 flat. Closing anywhere upside of 35, which we're just about a sneeze away, would be a pretty amazing bullish statement coming out of the asset. But not only that, is that you can see here that we faced the top side just around about 3 weeks ago. The week of August the 7th, right? So we faced a nice upside to 44 cents. Hey, baby boy. And you can see here that we made a clear downside, right? So why I'm mentioning this is because we're currently building a pretty nice hammer candle at the end of a downtrend, which would be indicative of a potential reversal and a continuation to the upside. That would be incredible, incredible times for ticker symbol ASRE, and I see the potentials coming up and giving us a pretty high probability. One of the first resistances that we should keep in mind, what's up, buddy boy, is actually the mean reversion here that we're looking at on the bi-monthly that indicates a potential resistance located right at about that 59.20 cent zone. Okay, so keep that in mind just in case of anything. And let's move on to the last part of the analysis here, and this is going to be the RSI. So please notice here that the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is showing a little bit of consolidation, which I've mentioned in the other two videos that I've put together today, that we're going to see this often, right? Coming into macroeconomic releases and or Fed Chair Powell speaking. So it's absolutely normal for us to see things like this. So now go ahead and take a look at the bi-hourly time frame where we have an upside pivot here. It's not as aggressive as I would like it to be, but it's still showing an upside pivot. Now, if we do continue with this with a nice push to the upside, then that would actually increase the probabilities of the 4-hour time frame and the 8-hour time frame to cross upside of the SMA 14, right? So that would be highly ideal and definitely recommended for the bulls to do, right? Not financial advice. Don't do that. All right. Anyway, so we're just speaking on the data here, team. We just want to make sure that we can have an edge over tomorrow's trade. And if there is an opportunity for us to open up a paper trade or a simulator trade, then we absolutely will, and observe price action and continue protecting retail as we do this, right? So yeah, and let's see, the 12-hour time frame still showing some upside. I do have to say that it's in the bullish control zone, but particularly the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, which still gives us a little bit of a risk here and gets pulled back down. Okay, same situation here on the daily time frame, but as you can see, the buy daily time frame is actually bouncing very nicely from that SMA 14, suggesting a continuation to the upside, which means that the downside that we would be facing, if any, is or will actually be temporary and not long lasting. Okay, as the major timeframes are showing us that the overall trend is favoring the bulls. Okay, so I'm liking what I'm seeing here, team. Let's just go ahead and make sure that we can all get together and start observing price. We are looking at ticker symbol ASRE, GTII, VIRI. We're looking at the broader markets and their inverse plays. We're looking at, FNGR, COSM, all of those assets, TTOO, PIRS, RCRT, EBET, all of those tickers are being currently reviewed by us in or during the live stream. So go ahead and make sure to stop on by. And I usually am on by around 6:30 or about 6:40 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, team. So as far as targets are concerned, careful there, buddy. As far as targets are concerned for the immediate short term with an upside push, I do have to say that we still have a little bit of trouble getting over this 3605, aka the 3591 zone. So that 36 cent zone is absolutely crucial, and I do believe that we have some potential here to finally break that, whether it be tomorrow or come Monday or Tuesday. So we're getting very close to it. Momentum is actually starting to favor the bulls here. So yes, these probabilities are starting to become more likely than not. Okay, team. So let's just kind of keep that in mind first before tomorrow, so that we can prep and have a good idea before the market starts and continues on tomorrow, right, team? So please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Yeah.